So thank you guys for joining us this morning. I'm going to run through several different concepts and ideas on lead generation today, or running posts in both the free environment and the paid environment on social media platforms. I'm going to primarily focus on Facebook, Instagram, but I'll also look at free content and posts on the LinkedIn platform, of course, Google My Business. And Google My Business has a component on there called AdWord Express that lets you very easily run through the process of creating posts and listing content in that environment. Let me zip through here and kind of get this going. Again, yeah, we got more people rolling in here. Give me a second. Let me let these people in the door. So, you know, a lot of this stuff is incredible now. Before we had social media, we were running ads in newspapers. We were running ads in magazines. We were doing a lot of print marketing, not as much digital marketing. The cool thing about the digital realm is that it's very easy to create content and post it out there. It's easy to measure your response, and it's easy to make a change if you need to make a change. So the beautiful part about that is you can literally make a 90-degree turn if that's what's required to generate the lead that you need to generate on this the different platforms. So there's a really nice mix. Again, the first thing I'm going to talk about is a little bit about Facebook, and let's kind of work through those channels and just kind of see what they are. As I mentioned the other day, we were doing a share to Lumen 5. We were taking Lumen 5 video content and we were sharing that content out onto social media. One of the things that we talked about when we shared it to Facebook is Facebook has 5 different channels in it, okay? And so there's 5 different ways to connect with buyers and sellers in the Facebook environment. And that's outside of your regular sphere marketing that you're doing, top of mind awareness, that type of thing. Just strictly promoting listings, open house events, and generating listing leads using landing pages, okay? Those are all things that you can do in these 5 different channels on Facebook, okay? So that's what we're gonna talk about first. So let's kind of dig through them a little bit. I'm not gonna go through the personal because I run this when I look at the pages. They're a little different. So page 1 is your personal Facebook page. The reason your personal Facebook page is so important is that's the only page that has people in it, right? So you've got your people in there, right? Because all of your people are in your personal page. That's the page that has the most eyeballs that get to see your content that's posted there, okay? Again, this is a different presentation, so I'm gonna kind of skip through some items here on this. One, you wanna utilize your pages in combination with each other. So when you're creating posts on your Facebook page, right, you're taking that post. Sorry, I've got more people that are trying to get in here. Let me get them in. When you're trying to create those posts, primarily you're going to post it into your business page first. You're going to share that to your personal page, right? That's your first 2 channels, your personal page and your business page. You're then going to be able to share that into groups. And so let's go back over here and get to groups, right? Again, promote you as a brand. This is your business page. I'm not going to go into some of these things because there's some deeper items that you go in here. Here is the correct order for sharing content in Facebook. Again, your business page first. So if it's a brand new listing, you're not going to put that on your personal page as the starting point. You're going to put it on your business page because remember, your business page promotes you as a brand. So you share it to your business page, you post it to your business page, you share it to your personal page. Your personal page, when you do that, drags your branding along with it. So that's the correct order. Business page, share to your personal page. Now, the next section in here is, of course, your groups, using Facebook groups. So again, sharing for free, you can take that content and you can push that content from your business page into groups as well. Again, it's dragging your branding alongside that, okay? So that's really two channels that you get to utilize, your personal and your business. I kind of call those one because that's really you, right? You get to share it into groups. That's the second channel, really. And this is free. And then your third channel is, of course, Facebook Marketplace. That's free. A lot of people are not utilizing Marketplace. And my thought process is, I don't understand why you would do that. It doesn't cost you money to post content into your marketplace. So let's kind of dig in here and let's look at a couple of these different sections, okay? So I'm going to zip over here very quickly to my Facebook page, and let's kind of walk through some of these different options here. So first off, I'm going to go over to my business page. Let's just take a post that I did yesterday, and let's talk about sharing this into some different locations. So, right, I've got a property that I want to promote here. As soon as it pulls in. So here's a property that I wanted to promote. Let's get a different property here, maybe. That one's pinned. Sorry, let me pin a different property here. I'm going to pin this to the top of my page just so I know what's going on with it. Okay, so here's a property that I want to promote, right? So one, I've taken this and I've initially created the post on my business page. Here it is. It's got some information that's required with this post, okay? I've also now been able to take this post, right? You should be able to take this post, and by changing over to your personal self, right, you can come in and share this content into your personal environment. Okay, and by the way, I'm gonna cancel that out. Let me show you something really quickly here. If you're operating as your business self and you go to share this, look at your options. Your options, these are your options for sharing as a business entity, okay? Share in a group. I can only share in a group because I accidentally joined. Well, I didn't accidentally join. I created a group as my business persona for myself. That's the only group I've joined as my business persona. So once I have a group that I've joined, it shows up in this list, okay? But normally it would show share to a page, embed, or copy link. That's my options, okay? Once I change over to a personal, an actual person, right? This is a business. Now let me change over to a person. Look at my options of where I can share that now. So there's a couple of very important sections in here. I've said this before. I'm just going to touch on it briefly because I think it's so important, okay? If you are using social media as part of a marketing strategy, if you are not asking your prospects and clients, both buyers and sellers, if you can add them as a friend on Facebook, you are missing a very big opportunity to connect with people. So, right, that's what this is. This is you connecting with your sphere in your personal page. So please do me a favor from now on. When you're meeting with a selling client and you're talking about your social media marketing, mention Facebook, ask them if they're a Facebook user, and ask them if you have their permission to send them a friend request. Once you do that, look at the option here. One of the options is to share on a friend's timeline. This is an incredibly and often overlooked opportunity to take listing content that you're going to start marketing on your page, push that, share that marketing onto a friend's timeline. And what happens when that post of their virtual tour or their home promotion goes onto their wall on their timeline. Now all of their friends have access to the promotion that you're going to be doing for their home on their timeline, and they're going to be commenting and liking it, and you're going to be able to harvest that as part of a referral network. So just a brief note on that. Look how many options you have on here as you switch over to your personal self. So now, again, I'm going to go share that. Once I share this, right, you can share it on your timeline. You can also put it on your story. You've got some options here in the dropdown. I'm just going to share this on my timeline, and I'm going to say, just make a quick comment. Right, and I can post. Okay, another thing that I see people doing, by the way, if you noticed, mine is already set to default and I never catch myself, but I should talk about it quicker, is when you post, you have the option. Matter of fact, let me just do it again. You have the option of sharing this publicly or to a specific friends group. So I will say something. I have had people do this where they have posted only to their friends groups. Okay. So what that does, that's a limiter. You don't want to do that. If you're creating marketing, you are looking to expand and get as many eyeballs looking at your marketing as you possibly can. So that's a bad thing to only check it as friends. You want to definitely have this be in the public environment here. So if you're creating posts and you're only leaving them as a friends list, you might be missing some opportunity. Okay, make sure it's public. Again, I'm going to cancel that. Let's go out very quickly. I'm going to come back to my personal page here, and let's go look at that post on your personal timeline. There it is. And if you notice, one of the things that it's doing is it's dragging your branding along with that post. Okay, so that gives you some added eyeballs, and it gives you some added promotion of you as a brand, not just you as a personal person. Again, the reason it's so important to share this content from your business page onto your personal page is, let me do this real quick. Let me go pop open a new page. I'm going to go compare the two pages with each other so you can see what I'm talking about of why it's so important to take this content and put it into an environment that gives you as much exposure as possible. So here I am, I'm on my business page, and I just want to show you here, where is my community? Here's my community. So under here, you can see the maximum amount of people that have access to that post, if I just posted on my business environment, is 480 people. That's the maximum people that potentially could see that post as a free post on my business page. Let's compare that and contrast it very quickly with posting this onto my personal page. Now, if you go down, look at your friends list. On this page, I have 3,082 friends in Facebook. Now, potentially, I've put that in front of 3,000 people that could see that. So do you get why it's so important to put that into both places on Facebook? Okay, let's look at the next place that I would share that content. Okay, let me go back over to my business page again. Right, here's my post that I have, and I want to share this out now. I want to share this out into the next environment, which would be Facebook groups. So some very important stuff. I see a lot of people. As a matter of fact, just if you guys want to post into chat, I would love to hear some examples of some groups that you have joined. Let me show you what most real estate agents, for the most part, join, okay? They'll join a real estate mastermind group, right? Or they'll join lab coat agents as a group, right? So they'll join that group. That group has 119,000 members in it. Primarily, what these groups are is these groups are industry groups. So someone just posted community groups. So that's, in my opinion, yes, that's the right answer. But think about this. A lab coat agent group or a real estate mastermind group is a community group as well. It's just not a geographic community group. It's an interest-based group. So I want you to think a little bit differently when you start looking and joining groups. Groups can be interest-based. They can be industry-based. They can be hobby-based, right? That would be that interest again. I would aim for geographic community groups. So here in my area, I live in Temecula, right? What if I looked at Temecula, California, and I did a search for groups for Temecula, California? So I'm going to click search, and this is pulling up everything, right? I've got all posts, people. I can define this. I'm going to go over here to groups, and I'm just going to define this a little bit. And now you'll notice here is Temecula, Murrieta, Menifee buy-sell exchange group. So I always ask this question, just out of curiosity. If you're a buyer, a broker, a lender, do you buy or sell anything? I think you do. So why wouldn't you join a buy-sell trade group as a starting point? There are hundreds of these things that you can join and post into literally every single day. Now, I had someone in a class that we were doing yesterday that said they posted into 25 groups in a day. And I saw a post today on one of the mastermind groups that someone said, how many, what's the maximum number of groups that you should post into daily? Okay. And the person that responded, wasn't me, said, you know, honestly, the fact that you asked that question shows that you maybe don't understand how groups work. And I thought that was a little harsh, but at the same time, I will say, if you're sharing content into groups, the content you push there has to match what the interest level is for the group. So if you're going to post content, I'm going to use this as an example, in the Temecula, Murrieta, Menifee buy-sell exchange group, and that's a home for sale in Rancho Cucamonga, is that going to fly in that group? No, right? That's going to be a home that's for sale in Temecula, Murrieta, or Menifee. That's what fits for that group. So that's what you have to match. Again, this one's a little more detailed. Homes for sale or rent. By the way, let's go in and just out of curiosity, I just want to look at this really quickly. Here's the group, okay? In this group, there is 12,225 members in this group. If I was a realtor and I was serving the Temecula market and I had a Temecula property for sale, would it be advisable for me to share that property into this group? I think the answer is yes. So again, this is the type of groups that I would look at joining. Now, it looks like, by the way, it looks like there's a realtor here that is running this group. So here's a realtor that's decided to create this group. He probably has some additional admin that runs that. I've had realtors that tried to, yeah, it looks like he's got some admins on this that are some different people. I've got some realtors that have just decided to try and do this. And I will say something about running a group. If you've ever tried, it's a lot of work, like to keep track of who's posting what and how many people are posting every day. It can get really, right? Look at this, 231 posts every day. And you got to track all that and make sure that it's not spam and approve it. That's almost like a full-time job running a group like that. So if you decide that that's something you want to do, great. If that's part of your business plan, I just look at that and say there's so many groups out there that you could join without having to admin it, that you might be better off as far as where you spend your time for that. So just as an idea, again, there's a ton of groups out there. You can join a ton of them. Temecula Exchange. So this is 1,200 posts per day. So let's see how many members. This has 19,000 members in this group. So you can see there's a ton out there. Let's go out and look in some different communities in the Inland Empire. So let's look out here for Rancho Cucamonga. And I'm just going to type the word buy real quick. And let's just see what pops up here. So I'm going to go over to groups. Let's select groups. And now you'll see Rancho Cucamonga area, buy, sell, trade. Rancho Cucamonga, buy star, sell, star, trade, right? There's a zillion different groups out there. Okay, that is a lot of groups. If you think about it, you can go in and do this literally on a daily basis. What's next to Rancho Cucamonga? I tell you what, let's look up Fontana buy and see what's in Fontana, right? Okay, I'm in groups. There's some Fontana groups. This one right here is a huge one. By the way, this one right here has 100,000 people in this group. 99,207, okay? So that's pretty amazing. That's huge as far as the number of people that are in those groups. And that's just a pretty phenomenal item if you think about it, okay? Now, I do want to say something about some of these different, that's weird. I am looking for my calculator, and there it is. I'm looking for my calculator on here, and it wasn't on here. I want to do a little math for you guys really quick. We had a discussion yesterday, and we were talking about lead generation, okay? So I prescribe to the methodology of lead generation that's based on how much business you want to do. So over the years, I've seen a lot of agents that I consider it kind of floating, right? They're a little bit, they're floaty. And what I mean by floaty is they don't really have any clear-cut objective of how much business they want to do. So if they don't define or set a goal of what their end result is for the coming year, how in the world can they plan what they need to do to get that, to achieve that goal, right? So I had a gentleman that was kind of my mentor, that talked about marketing, and we went through this whole marketing thing. Actually, he was a newspaper guy, real interesting guy. But he came from the print environment originally. That was 28 years ago now. And he taught me about kind of boiling numbers down and really looking at the cold, hard facts for lead generation. So I'm going to use this calculator as an example here. Let's say that I want to do a listing. I want to take a listing. I want to generate a new listing lead every month. I want 12 listing leads. And for that listing leads, I need, I'm just going to make the math real simple. Let's say it's going to take me 20 potential people that I connect with. It's going to take me 20 people that wanted their home value for me to generate that one listing, okay? So I have to generate 20 leads to get that one listing, okay? So 20 leads, right? And I'm gonna multiply that times 12. So there's my 12 months. And I come up with, I need a total of 240 leads over the coming year to do business. So 20 leads a month is all I need, okay? Now, that might not be a realistic number. It might take you 30 or 40 people that you connect with to convert one lead every time. So let's say it was 40, it's going to be twice that. It's going to be 480, okay? So let's just multiply that times 2. Let's say it's 480 fresh leads, not people that you're already in your sphere, new people that you're going to connect with. So if you've got to come up with 40 leads a month that are new leads of people that are thinking about potentially listing their home or are curious about their home's value, right? You have to be able to generate those 40 leads a month. So here's my take on this. I have a lot of people that look at free marketing, and I am a huge fan of free marketing. But let's say my free marketing gets me, let's say I do this and I use a lot of these free channels that we're talking about here. Those free channels, let's say I generate, let's say I generate 4 leads or 3 leads a week. Okay. So if I generate 3 leads a week, that's a total of 12 leads for the month, right? So 12 leads a month, but I need 40 leads a month. So if I need 40 leads a month, right? 40 minus 12, right? Equals 28. I've got to come up with the 28 additional leads. So how am I going to do that? Well, if your current free marketing is generating you those 12 leads, you need to pay for marketing to generate the additional 28. Now, that may cost you $1, it may cost you $2, it may cost you $5 a lead. But let's say it was $5 a lead, right? So 28 leads times $5. So that's going to cost me $140 in marketing dollars to generate those additional 20 leads that I'm going to group with the other 12 leads I got for free. And out of that whole mix of 40 leads, I'm going to convert one of those into a listing. So here's how I look at that. And a lot of people don't like that. They don't like spending money. And hey, I get it, right? But that $140, what would you say the average commission is on a listing in your marketplace right now? Just put that number in your head. For some people, it's more. Some markets, it might be $16,000. Some people, it might be $12,000. Some people, it might be $10,000. If you could spend $140 to generate a lead that was going to turn into $10,000, would you guys do that? I would do that. I would do that all day long. That's way better than Las Vegas odds, right? For gambling. So that's kind of how I look at lead generation. So I kind of wanted to start you off and kind of show you that, because we're talking about free and we're going to transition into the paid component, but free is fabulous, right? But free doesn't always cut it. So if you are only doing free and you're not willing to go into the paid environment, again, that number is whatever the number is that you need to generate. And you guys know what it is. If you start looking at your numbers, you're going to figure out, here's how much I need to spend to generate those bodies, those leads coming in front of me, okay? That seems a little cold because you're still going to be generating leads and referral leads from your sphere. That's probably going to be the biggest source of your leads, is generating that. Again, that's why I say, if you can, go join, go ask all of your clients to become your friends, because that's you just adding people into your bucket, your sphere bucket on a regular basis. So we've talked about the correct order to share content onto Facebook. Okay. We've talked about sharing content from your business page into groups and the types of groups that you should be joining. And honestly, this is not a difficult thing. You just saw this, right? Here I did. I'm going to go in. Let's go look at it again. I'm going to go, this is going to be a scary one because probably so many people are looking this up. Corona, California. I'm just going to look up buy, sell, trade, right? So look how long it's taking me to do this. I just typed in a city with the words buy in it. I'm going to go over to groups. Okay. Here's some groups that I could join. How many of these could I join every day? There's one. I've already joined that one, let's say, right? Okay, that's a new one. I don't have any properties there, right? Okay, there's a new one. So let's see if there's more stuff in Corona. There's nothing right there. But you see the amount of different groups that are in here, correct? RC, buy, sell, trade, SoCal. So I don't know what this one is. Oh, it looks like it's RC cars. Okay. So you can see that there's a lot of different groups in here, and there's a lot of different quantities of members of these groups. So let's just look at this one real quick here. This one has 31,839 members in this group. So by joining these groups, this is a practice. This is something that you should look at doing every day. You should search for new groups to join, add those groups into your database, put them onto a list that you keep track of, and utilize those groups to promote the properties that you want to share. Now, I mentioned, and I've done this for the last couple of weeks, and this will actually come from the print environment, okay? And I used to own a full color magazine that we would sell advertising to realtors. This was probably 10, 15 years ago. We would sell ads to realtors. We would put these at the grocery stores, and right, people that wanted to go find homes would know that, oh, I'm going to go to the grocery store. I'm going to pull the magazine out of the rack, and I'm going to look through it and find homes in the area that I want to find. And that was all great, but I had people that were running ads every month. They had their listings, but let's say I'm down a little bit this month. I only have one listing, or I have two listings, and I really want to run an ad, and I want to get the most exposure I can. So I would like to run an ad with 8 listings on it, on my ad, okay? But I only have 1 or 2 listings. Where do I get the other 6 listings? So what people would do is they would go out to their office and they would borrow listings from other agents in the office. So I will say this, I've been saying this for the last 3 or 4 weeks as we've been doing these webinars. Look around in your office and find listings that you have the permission. Most brokerages, the broker will give the agents in that office permission to advertise those listings. Some brokerages will do it carte blanche. Here, any listing at our office, any agent can advertise any listings. Done, okay? Some brokerages operate a little different. They operate like this. From my standpoint as the broker, any agent has the capability of advertising any listings. What I would like you to do, to be nice, is go ask the agent that listed the house if you can advertise it. So there's brokerages that operate under that route. So if you go in your brokerage and you look through the list of homes, just go pull a list of homes from your MLS based on your office ID code or your broker code. That should give you a running total of available listings that you have to market on a daily basis. Okay, so lots of options on this. So I'm gonna go through and kind of dig in here a little more. Let's go back and look at our Facebook again. So again, there's a lot of different groups you can look for. So here I'm just looking in Corona. You can look in every city to your area and see those properties. So let's dig in here a little more. So that's now, we've looked at those channels. Let's look at the last channel here that's a free channel, okay? And that's called Marketplace. And I don't see, surprisingly, I don't see as many people looking on Marketplace or advertising, I should say, advertising on Marketplace as I think they could. So here we go. I'm in Marketplace, right? I just pulled it up over here, and I'm going to search for a home. And let's just see what comes up here for a 4-bedroom home. So there we go. There's some houses in Marketplace. So just out of curiosity here, and I just want to show you something here that's phenomenal, okay? So if you guys can see this right now, hopefully you're looking at Marketplace. I just looked for Temecula 4-bedroom homes. Okay, it looks like 3 of these are rentals. So I want you to wrap your mind around this. How many 4-bedroom homes do you think are currently for sale in Temecula? Question mark. Do you think there's only 2 homes for sale with 4 bedrooms? No. There's probably a lot more. I don't know. I'm not on the MLS, but if I just went out and pulled up a website real quick, right? So I'm just, and don't hate me here. I'm going to go over here and look on our dear friends at realtor.com, right? And I'm going to look at Temecula, California. There it is. Okay, and I'm going to search for some homes here real quick. Okay, now let's look at this real quick. Let's go look at bedrooms. I want 4+ bedrooms. Okay, save search. So just to let you guys know, there are 315 homes for sale that have 4 or more bedrooms in Temecula. Okay, let's come back over to Marketplace. Marketplace is showing a whopping for sale, remember, because it looks like this one right here is a rental. This one is a rental, and this one is a rental. So for sale, it appears that there are 2 homes showing on Marketplace. Do you guys think that this is an opportunity for you to create content and share that on the Marketplace? I think it's a tremendous opportunity. Okay, this is a site that has millions of people on it, Facebook, and the people in your community. And again, every time we talk to people about social media marketing, we try and get the idea across that it doesn't matter what people are buyers are looking for in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and hopefully I'm pointing to the east. It doesn't matter. You don't care about buyers shopping for homes to buy in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, right? You care about buyers looking to buy a home in the Inland Empire or in Southern California. That's the people that you get to do business with. So those people buying in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, they don't matter to you. Okay, the same holds true for Marketplace on Facebook. There's millions of users on Facebook every day. But I just did a search in my Marketplace for a specific community, for a specific type of home, and I found 2. But I just did a search on realtor.com and it shows 315 available homes. So if you can target this component right here to create and generate listings on here, this is a tremendously valuable component. So let's talk about how you do that real quick. Okay, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to click a create button. And if you notice, there's some options on here. I don't want to create a page. I want to create an ad. We'll come back to that in a minute, right? I want to create a marketplace listing. So let's go look at marketplace listings. Okay. So it's opening up a modal window here. It's asking me, what do I want to sell? Okay. For this instance, I want to sell real estate. So I'm going to click this, right? It says listed by. So you're going to choose your brand. Okay. Again, it's not saying it's listed on the MLS by, it's just the listing on the marketplace is by, okay? So I've had some people worry about that, and that's not what it is. It's just the listing created on Marketplace. So let's go in here and add photos. And I had Alfredo's on here. Alfredo was asking me yesterday, how do I upload a video on there? We kind of played around with this. This only takes photos. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to grab a photo for this, okay? And I could get a couple of different types of photos, by the way. So I could grab several different types. I'm just going to grab a photo here real quick. Let's see if this is the one I want. That's the one I want right there. So there's the photo I'm going to grab. Okay, you can put additional photos. So let's add a couple more photos. And I think this is a data loader. So let's do this a slightly different route here. Let's see if it'll have an uploader, because I believe it does. And now it's going to upload all of those photos at one shot. So there's your photos, right? 6 through 50 photos. By the way, here's another idea on this. Don't put too many pictures. You should list 15 or less pictures. In my mind, if I want someone to call me, you don't give away the farm. You put pertinent pictures that give someone an idea and get them excited, right? There's a concept to marketing called AIDA. You attract their attention, you pique their interest, you create desire for that item, which causes them to take action, right? So now you give the details. So select homes for sale, right? So what do we want? This is a for sale, right? Property type, house. Bedrooms. Okay, how many bedrooms, right? Whatever that is. Bathrooms. On this house here in Murrieta, I think it has 22 bathrooms or something like that. The price, I don't know, 31 million. Who knows what it is? It's right. I'm just kind of joking because I'm actually not going to promote this because that wouldn't be right. Right now, you get to describe the property. Okay, square footage, laundry type, all this information. You can see on here, right? There's some options. So this is very easy to create this listing content and roll through this, okay? So I just wanted to show you guys how incredibly easy that is to promote those listings. I'm going to discard this because I don't actually want to post it, but you see the process is very easy to walk through. Again, this is a huge sphere and it's a huge environment for promoting content and posting content online, okay? So that's the third section in Facebook that's free. So first is your business page and your personal page. That's you. The second is Facebook groups, right? Completely free to join those groups. The third is Facebook Marketplace. And you've seen now the incredible availability. Again, let's go look at some different marketplaces just out of curiosity. I'm really kind of curious about this now, right? Let's look in Redlands, 4-bedroom home for sale. Okay, let's see what shows up here. So no homes for sale. Let's go a little different. I'm going to get rid of this right here and just do that. And let's see what pops up this way. So homes for sale. Looks like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8. I have 8 homes showing up for sale in Redlands, California. Okay, just out of curiosity, wonder how many homes here are in Redlands, California that are a 4-bedroom. Okay, this says 148. So why I'm demonstrating this to you is I want you guys to see opportunity when it's knocking. And right now, it is knocking hardcore, okay? So again, lots of missed opportunity. There's 148 homes that are 4-bedroom or more in Redlands, California. And as we can see on Marketplace, there is 8 properties that are listed that are for sale. There's rentals, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, 8, not 9. 8 homes out of 148. That's a lot of opportunity for you to take advantage of and dig into as far as promoting properties that you can share out there, okay? You guys haven't made a peep here, so nobody has any questions. Don't forget, you can unmute your mic and pop in and ask a question as we're going through this. So, okay, so let's now go back and let's look at our paid advertising components on Facebook, okay? So option number 1 for paid advertising is to boost a post. Okay, so let's kind of walk through that a little bit, and probably most of you guys have boosted a post. I will say something else that my mentor in marketing did that was pretty astounding. He was a little bit, and as a matter of fact, he wrote a book about it. He gave me a copy of the book. The book's in boxes in my garage somewhere. I've been trying to slowly open a box at a time and dig through it. But he had a genius way of putting some marketing together. And let me tell you what that was. Most agents would go in and they would run this post right here. Let me get back down here to it. And they would run this post, and here's the ad, and they would talk about bedrooms and bathrooms and what the price was and what the features were of a particular house. Okay? So just like this, that would be an ad that most agents would run right here. Okay? His take was slightly different. So let me kind of explain what his take was, and I thought it was pretty brilliant. He said, instead of running one ad for the 3-bedroom, 2-bath home that I just listed in my neighborhood or in my farm, he said, I would choose to run 4 different ads. Okay. And I wouldn't run it for that particular house. I would be advertising that house. But think about this. His take was, how many 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes in this particular city are there? So let's go back and look in Temecula. 4-bedroom homes, there was 415, okay? So 415 available homes that by me running an ad, I could take someone and show them one of those 415 homes. So his take was a little different. He said, I would run 4 ads. And here's the 4 pillars that every buyer is looking for when they're searching for homes. And these 4 pillars, tell me if you guys agree, these 4 pillars for the most part stay the same. Here's the 4 pillars. Item number 1, people are looking for a specific location, right? Someone comes here from Florida. I'm going to use Florida a lot today. Someone comes here from Florida. They don't come here and say, well, where I'm going to come and I'm moving to California. California is a big place. Where in California are they looking? Well, they're like, okay, I've got family and my family lives in San Diego or Temecula or Redlands or Murrieta or wherever that is. So I'm going to move specifically because there's a job in Menifee. Okay, there's a job area waiting for me in Menifee. So there's their location. They have a location. I want to live in Menifee or somewhere really close to Menifee. So I'm going to look in Menifee, Murrieta, Temecula, Wildomar. That's my location. Or maybe Hemet or maybe San Jacinto, right? That's their geographical location. So location is key. That's one item. Every home has a location. It's an address, right? It's a city that home resides in. So that's one of the key factors of promoting a home. Item number 2, everyone looks at the price. How much is that home, right? I want to buy the best home I can buy for the least amount of money that I can buy that for. So if you can promote a home that's a great price for what they get, right? That's ad number 2. So ad number 1 is this 3-bedroom, 2-bath home is located in an incredible neighborhood in insert name of neighborhood. And what are the other features, right? So that's location, easy freeway access, easy commute, bedroom location, privacy, but quick to get to town, right? That's location based, right? Price is very easy. Here's the price. This is the price, okay? Item number 3 is amenities, okay? What does this home have that's a feature that you need to talk about? So he would run an ad, and that ad would be based on amenities. And that might be RV parking. It might be 3-car garage instead of a 2-car garage. It might be land. It might be a pool. It might be a gold-plated garbage disposal. Whatever that house has that's a featured amenity that you get to talk about, that's the 3rd thing, right? By the way, I think amenities also include things like bedrooms. Hey, I need a 5-bedroom house. I got a big family, right? So that can be part of that package as well. I also think in a way, amenities are also school district. So I'll give you an example. I have a neighbor that owned a home across the street from us, had the house, was renting the house, moved out of area. Now their kids are growing up and their kids are getting ready to go into high school. Well, we live in the Great Oak School District, which is a very in-demand school district here in Temecula. And, you know, we just lucked into it, but they just moved back into the house across the street they were renting because they want to be in the school district so that their kids can actually attend that high school. So that's an important driving factor for someone to move to a location. So I think that's both an amenity and a location-based option, okay? The fourth component of every buyer is, can I afford to buy this house? So you guys, if you're real estate agents or brokers, you have lenders that you work with your lender to come up with what special traits of affordability does this house have? Does it qualify for a specific type of loan? Does it qualify for down payment assistance? Does it qualify for, what does that qualify for? So I remember when one of my friends was buying his first house. We were in our, I don't know how old we were, but you know, we were buying our house, and I was like, he was like, hey, this is great. I'm going to buy in this new development because they're actually offering me to let me buy a house with 3% down payment instead of 10. Great. So that was an affordability issue. So that's a great way to put this together. So again, as you're running through these ad components, make sure that you're promoting the different kinds of amenities, features, price, location that's specific to your home. And that also translates as you push those out to different Facebook groups, as you include them in different Facebook marketplaces, and as you're getting ready to boost these homes, that also becomes a factor. So by coming in here, writing my ad copy, now I get to pay money to Facebook to boost this ad. So let's go ahead, and on this ad, I'm going to click boost. Okay. Boosting is what I call the easy way for you to give Facebook some money and Facebook to deliver your post to some different content. Okay. So let's see what they're saying. I can't promote a Facebook destination. I don't think I have a destination on here now, do I? Okay, so I don't know what that is, but connect, get people to watch the video. So this is set up as a video. I really don't want to do this. I'd rather do this as pictures. So I would do this a little bit differently. I'd probably promote this as connect with chat with potential customers on this. Actually, I don't even want to do this at all because I don't want to do it as a video. So let's cancel the ad. Let's go down here and find a different post. That's an event. Sorry, my Facebook's trying to play catch up here. I have too many events on here and not enough pictures and fake posts. That's considered a video too. Great. Here, let me go down. I know I've got one down here somewhere. Let me go down and do this as a post that is not a... Okay, so I apologize, you guys. I used to, my site used to be littered with pictures and content and things that were all over the place. There we go. Okay, so this is not a video. This is just a graphic image. As a matter of fact, let's make this really easy. I'm going to pin that to the top of my page. That'll help me when we talk about this later. So what I'm going to do now is I want to boost this. I want to boost this or give Facebook money to promote this post to a certain, by the way, this has got another problem here. So yeah, of course. So you don't want to have too much text overlaying the photo. I have too much on here. This ad will not run. So normally you would run that as a picture and you would let the verbiage say what you wanted this to say, okay? So I'm going to let this run anyways. I just really want to show you in here. I want to get people to react, comment, or share this post. That's my goal. Book now, that's fine. There's some options on numbers. You can say learn more is probably what I would really suggest on this. Anything else sounds a little too salesy, right? Shop now, no button, sign up, get directions, send message. You could include a send message button if you wanted to. I'm just going to leave it as a learn more button, okay? You could have a link for this, so you can actually put a link into the button if you wanted to add this in and connect that back to your website or the virtual tour for this home. But let's go down and look at the targeting for this, because that's really what we want to look at, okay? And I'm looking at my time. We're going to run a little long. Hopefully you guys are good with that, because I want to dig through all these options on looking at these promotions. So people you choose through targeting, this is where the boost and the ad buy becomes so powerful, okay? So I can create a new audience, or I can use a pre-saved audience. So I'm going to, for this instance, create a new audience, and I'm just going to label this sample Temecula buyer. That's what I'm going to call this, okay? So I'm going to run this sample Temecula buyer. I get to choose a couple things. Gender. Do I want to select a specific gender? No, not for this product, because, right, men and women are buying houses. Age range. Do I want to select an age range? Yes, this is important. I need to know what's the minimum age range of a potential buyer for my Temecula property, okay? In this case, I'm going to say it's 25 and up for Temecula, okay? Normally, you're going to go back through, you're going to be able to track down this information from your MLS, and that will show you for your area what the minimum, what the average age of a buyer is. The reason you're doing this is you're fine-tuning where you're spending money. I don't need to run an ad to 18-year-olds on Facebook if they can't qualify to buy a house. So in Temecula, we have a large military population, so I'm going to say 25 and up for buying a house. Okay, now I get to add a location into this ad buy that we're going to generate. So let's go in and take a look at some locations. So I'm going to run an ad into Temecula, okay, and I'm going to run it in California. There it is. And you'll notice I get to do a couple of options. So if you select a city, you can run an ad with a radius down to 10 miles by selecting a city. Okay, let's remove this and let's put an actual address. Okay, let me show you some qualifications. So on the specific address, if you need to really target yourself down, you can target a circle down to 1 mile. Okay, so a couple of ranges. A specific street address will let you target to within a mile of that address. What happens though is your targeting changes a little bit here. So check this out. Potential audience size is 13,000. I'm going to leave that for now because I want to show you what happens to this. So that's the geographic targeting. I'm now placing an ad. Now, if you guys are users of some different services out there like CoreFact, or let's say you're a Coldwell Banker agent, you have something called CBX. I think Realogy is talking about rolling CBX, their CBX type platform, to all of their platforms. But right now, Coldwell Banker is the only one that has it. What that is, that's gives you the ability to target based on where this house is, the bedrooms and bathrooms for the house, and the price. It will show you based on what's called big data where the buyers are coming for that house. And now you can run an ad in multiple locations. So let's say in addition to this location, I also had, they were telling me that I had buyers that wanted to come here from Orange County, or let's say San Diego, because I'm in Southwest Riverside County. So I'm going to come in here and let's say San Diego as my option, right? So I'm going to add San Diego California. Wait a minute. There we go. San Diego, California as a city in there. Okay. And that's not really right because look, I've got some Orange County stuff or some northern San Diego County. This is where all the military bases are. So I'm going to actually change this, and let's go in and change this to Oceanside. So now that covers my audience. Look what happened to my people here. It went from 13,000 to 960,000 people. Okay, so now I've got my geographics down. And by the way, Oceanside plus 25 miles, that's a little big. Let's change that down, right? Because I put a city, I can take this down to 10 miles. Let's put 20 miles in there and see what that does. Okay, that's pretty good. And let's change this one right here to 4 miles. Okay, so now I'm kind of covering my area, and there's my other one right there, right? So I've got some different geographic areas that I'm covering here, if you see that, okay? Now let's go in and define this a little more. Let's go into detailed targeting here, and this includes adding demographics, interests, and behaviors. So now let's go in and target people that are looking at Realtor.com. So anybody that's ever shopped on Realtor.com, let's go in and add that in. Look what happened. My 960,000 people dropped down to 34,000 people. Okay, let's look at Redfin as an option. So let's see let's see. It looks like they've changed this now. So check this out. This is kind of funny. Redfin is an option. There's 2 options. Look at this. Employers. No, I don't want employers. I want people that are interested or have visited the website. Now that took my number up to 56,000 people. What else? How about Zillow? Okay, not as an employer, Zillow as an interest, and not Premier Agent because that would be agents, right? So let's go Zillow as an interest. Now my number went up to 130,000 people. How about Homes.com? Okay. Now I'm still at 130,000. What are some other websites here that people might be looking at? How about Trulia? People still are going to Trulia. Look, that raised it by 10,000. Now I'm at 140,000. Okay. So if you notice, I've got this little gauge here. This gauge is very important for running an ad or saving an audience. Right? So there it is, Temecula, sample Temecula buyer, all genders, 25 and up. I've got specifics to my location that I want to run these ads into. Detailed targeting, people who match. So these are interests based on properties or websites that they may have been visiting to shop for a home. Let's now go in and do one more thing. I'm going to click over to the side here. See how there's no results found? Let me click in here and let me show you one other little option on here. You can also narrow or exclude people from your office or from your audience. So now I'm going to go in and exclude some people. So I don't want to run ads for realtors. So how about I type in real estate agent, and let's see what shows up in here. So if you notice, I've got job titles. So I would select, let's not send this to a real estate agent broker. I'm just going to type this real estate broker as a job title, right? You've got some options in there. So let's look up realtor as a job title. They just added that in. That used to not be there. So you've got some different functions that you can exclude. Now look what happens to my chart as I do that. It actually now, oh, it kept it at 140,000. So that's nice. So once you've got that defined list, right, you can save that. And now you've got your option there for promoting this. So there's my boost. There's my ad that I want to run. By the way, this will not run. I guarantee it. See this little item right here where they're telling you that they don't like text over the top of this? This little item right here, they will not like this text. By the way, I did this to promote and show you guys how to use text-to codes to generate additional leads outside of someone coming back to this property and connecting with you on your website. So this property, the idea behind this was to generate text codes for people to preview this, get a virtual tour emailed directly to them, me get their phone number because I've got their text code built in and I get the lead as their phone number. And they can also schedule an instant showing because I have built into this text technology the ability for them to book an appointment to actually view the property in person. So there's some really fun little stuff in there. But in this instance, I don't want this because that's going to keep my ad from running. I'm not actually going to submit an ad here, but I just want to walk you through that, okay? So how many days do I want to run this ad? Well, again, how much do I want to spend? So in this environment, I'm only spending this maximum, $10. So that's going to be $2 per day, $10 total. Let's say I want to run this for 10 days, okay? And I want to spend 20 bucks, or let's say I want to spend $5 a day. I'm going to spend a total of $50, right? Look what happens to the number of people that will see this per day. As you change this dollar figure, that number changes, right? So if I spent $25 total or $2.50 a day, the total number of people that would potentially see this a day is right here between 310 and 890 people per day, okay? So once you're done with that, you like the way it looks. Again, this is the easiest route because it is just the post that you did on your page, and you're going to click the boost button, and that's going to start that process going into its ad review. And then once it's reviewed and approved, it goes online, okay? And it'll run for that 10 days because we set the time limit on here for a total of 10 days, okay? So that's really the third channel, or excuse me, that's the fourth channel in Facebook, is boosting an actual post that you put onto your business wall, okay? So let's go out here and let's start a different option and let's create another option. Let's go through the process of creating a post on Facebook, and I'm going to take a different route. I'm going to take the route of trying to generate listing leads, okay? So in this instance, I'm going to use a lead capture page to try and generate listing leads on Facebook. Okay, this is actually an easier proposition than running buyer ads, and I'll show you why in a second. So for this category, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click create, and now instead of boosting a post that I already put online, I'm going to create an actual ad. Okay, so you go down to the create button, go down to add, the second option, and now we're going to go through the ad process. This looks way more complicated than it is. This is very simple, okay? So let's let it get in here. It's going to take a second. So I like what they've done. They've simplified this process. This used to be a full screen. They've changed it to a modal window now. So in a way, they've kind of simplified it and made it a little easier. Okay, here's what I'm going to be trying to do. I'm going to actually be trying to create an ad that goes to my website, okay? So let's go here and let's go to a landing page, and I'm going to actually try and connect this website up with an ad buy that I'm going to do on Facebook. Now, by the way, you guys have these landing pages already built into a service that you have. If you're a CRMLS member, you already have a free tool in your system called Cloud CMA. And Cloud CMA has a landing page that will let you generate leads from those pages As a matter of fact, I've done a lot of classes, as you can see. Let me dip down here and find that link. It's here somewhere. There it is. You've got a free landing page right here. Okay. And this is called Cloud CMA. And you guys all have, every agent that's a member of CRMLS gets this landing page for free. And this landing page has one job. And when someone gets to this website, the entire job of this landing page is to generate a lead back to you for someone that wants a home value report. Now, I'm going to say a quick thing. Does that say that they want to sell their house? No. Does it give you an opportunity to chat and connect with someone that raises their hand in a neighborhood and that says, hey, I'm curious about the value of my home? Yes. Again, opportunity is knocking. That gives you the ability to have a conversation with someone. They might be interested in selling their house. They might not. If they're not, can you ask them if they know any friends or family that would be interested? And based on your response of getting this information back to them, you can actually increase your referral network again by doing this. So let's go back in, let's dig in, and let's start running this ad. So I'm going to do a couple things here real fast. Where is my ad buys? Can I miss something? Oh, here we are. Sorry. I've got my little picture there. So I'm going to, in this case, I'm going for traffic, okay? If you want lead generation, that's using Facebook's lead generation. Facebook's lead generation is excellent if you're trying to generate buyer leads because it's automatically going to pull in people's contact information when they engage with the page for their contact information. So it's going to give you who they were because Facebook knows who their user is, right? Even if they're hiding that from you, they've got all that information. If they press that submit button, you get their contact information. In this case, because we're trying to send someone as traffic to this lead capture website that's going to automatically generate a listing CMA report for their house, right? That's a little different because I want this to automatically work. So I don't want to send them to lead capture in a form where I have to do something. I want them to automatically get the generated report. So in this case, I'm using traffic to send them to a website. So let's dig down in here and let's go take a look and show you guys what these look like here, okay? So I've got traffic. You can name your ad right here, optional. I'm just going to click continue. And now it's going to walk us through this process of setting the campaign up. So here I go. I'm going to go for Temecula sellers. That's what I'm going to name my ad. I'm going after Temecula sellers. Okay. I can choose a budget. So here's my campaign budget, a daily budget. I'm not going to spend $100. So let's go change this option here. Let's say I wanted to spend $2 a day. Okay. So my daily budget's going to be $2. My total number of dollar spend for the entire month should be roughly around $60. Again, remember that calculator. This number is very important. Whatever number you need above your free marketing to generate this kind of lead, that's what the number is. Now, you don't need to go over that number. So I'll tell you a brief story. I had a gentleman that was running Facebook ads. I think he was spending $10 a day and we were generating 12 leads a day for $10. Okay. He didn't have the tools in place to follow up properly with those 12 leads. So they were basically being wasted. But he got so excited at the success of the ad purchase that he got kind of caught up in the hype and said, wow, this is really awesome. I want to generate, let's run more ads. And my take was, if you can't follow up with the 12 leads, why should we spend $20 and generate 24 leads that you're not going to follow up with? So this gives you a really cool way to come back in and change and manipulate this dollar figure to give you what you need to do in the system. So you get to edit this. You can literally edit it technically every 20 minutes if you needed to. You're not going to generate enough time to see how effective this is. But what's beautiful about this is that you can launch an ad, and on this platform, you should have leads within a day or 2 days. If you have no leads, you need to change the dollar figure or change the verbiage that you're running on your ad. So for this case, I'm just going to use $5 a day, okay? $5 a day is $130 for the month. That's going to be my total ad spend, okay? I'm going to click the next button. Okay? Now it's going to ask me, where do I want to set this traffic to? Well, I want to send it to a website. So they already have this set up and correct, okay? So provide creative elements such as images, headlines will automatically generate combinations. I don't want to have them create the dynamic. I'm going to actually create the dynamic for this, okay? You can set up your budget. So here's your budget and your schedule date. I would actually want this. Let's say I wanted to set this to run, I'm going to start on Friday, right? And I can set the time, and I want this to start at a certain time, okay? Now, there's the ability to also set specific time ranges. I'm not a fan of that, and here's why I'm going to say I'm not a fan of that. If I have someone on Facebook and they can't sleep and they're looking and they're a potential home seller and they want to find their home's value and they're on Facebook at 3 in the morning and they want to click on my ad to get their free home value report, I don't want to miss that opportunity. So in this case, I don't want to set a schedule because I want to reach them whenever they're on their Facebook, not on my schedule, okay? So let's keep running down this. So here's my audience. Remember, we have that saved audience. So remember, we just did that boost. Look at this. I've got some sample audiences here, right? Let's see, did I save that audience? There it is. So there was the sample Temecula buyer that I just ran, okay? In this instance, I'm going to create a new audience, okay? So let's go ahead and create a new one right here. Okay. So let's just go make a new audience. That's not it. Location. So let's go edit this. Here we go. I'm going to add the location. So if I'm trying to go get listings in Temecula, I'm literally going to shop. I'm going to run this post in Temecula, California. Now check this out. They're telling me on this ad that currently I'm going to reach 1,100,000 people. And that's because my ad is running at Temecula plus 25 miles. So let's define this down a little bit. Let's make it Temecula plus 10 miles, right? Or we could make it current city only. Let's do that. There's Temecula. So I'm going to reach 120,000 people. I'm going to get between 4 and 20 link clicks on my post right now in that environment. Okay, let's go turn our detailed targeting on. So let's go in here again. I want to search for people that are looking on realtor.com as an interest. So let's go look and see what happens to our numbers. Now I'm down to 8,200 people. Let's go add some more. Zillow. Do I think that potentially people in Temecula that are looking on Zillow for potentially their home estimate might find me? Yes. Let's go add some more on here. Okay, Trulia. I would say Trulia is a good one, right? Let's go add a couple more here. I would do the same thing. Homes.com, okay? Let's go look at this. Let's put all the real estate ones in here. Okay, so now I'm at 28,000 people. Let's continue to add some more demographics in here. How about Redfin? Again, I'm going to go and say Redfin is an interest. Okay, now I'm going to get really exciting. How about this? How about Home Depot? Okay, how about the Home Depot? Okay, I'm going to kind of target a little more. Do I think that someone that's a home buyer might have shown interest and maybe has gone to the Home Depot as an interest? Yes. Let's continue to add this. How about Lowe's? Okay, how about Lowe's Home Improvement as an interest? Okay, so that should be it, but that's weird. They don't have another one. So they have Lowe's Home Improvement. Let's see if I can do this and pop something up. They have Lowe's as an employer. They don't give me Lowe's Home Improvement as an option. I'm going to select this anyways. Let's see what this does. Takes me to adds an additional 1,000. So I'm at now 36,000 people. So again, I'm going to get 4 to 16 link clicks per day. I'm going to reach between 483 and 1,400 people per day with this ad that I would be running. Okay. Let's come back down here again and let's go into more options. Let's go in and add exclusions now. Okay, let's look at again, real estate agent broker as a job title. Let's look up realtor as a job title, right? And let's look up real estate broker as a job title. Licensed real estate broker, there we go. So now I've just lost 1,000 people, check it out. That says something amazing. 1,000 people out of my list that are listed as licensed real estate brokers, licensed agent broker, or realtor. In the demographic that I'm trying to, there's 1,000 people. So that's tremendous that I get to run that, right? Placements, automatic, you can leave automatic. I'm a big fan of manual placements. Let me show one thing, and I've got to wrap it up here in about 5 minutes. So I'm going to apologize, but let's wrap this up. I'm going to choose to unselect audience network. Okay, and here's why. Facebook controls Facebook. Facebook also controls Instagram, and Facebook also controls Messenger. What they don't control is this audience network. Those are ads, ad locations, digital, outside of Facebook's sphere that they buy advertising on, okay? From my experience, audience network spends your money but doesn't give you the return of the link clicks. So my recommendation always for people that I work as a consultant with is to deselect audience network, okay? And now it'll show you in here where you can choose to place this ad, okay? If you choose to deselect this in different places, by the way, I had someone on here yesterday that had asked me, how do I run an ad? How do I do a swipe up ad on Instagram? Here's where you do that. You'd actually build the ad in Facebook. You would unselect everything except Instagram, and you would run this ad as that. Now, the trick is in your marketing, your graphic that you have, if it's going to be video, you have to tell them in the video, hey, swipe up to access this page. So if you were in a neighborhood and you shot a video and you said, hey, Eric Eltholtz here at Fake Realty, I just wanted to let you know that home values in the Temecula marketplace have increased at 2.7% in the last 12 months. Just to let you know, 2.7% translates to $12,892. Hey, if you want to check and get a custom report for your home value, just swipe up and you'll be directed to an instant home value report website, right? And you could do that. So I'm just showing you that because that's kind of a really fun little hack that you can utilize to run swipe up ads on Instagram without having 10,000 followers. So normally, if you're going to do a swipe up ad, you need to have 10,000 followers on Instagram for that. Okay. So that's kind of a really nice little hack if you're interested in doing that. Let's kind of control down. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of this as we wrap this ad buying experience up on Facebook. Okay, so here's my goal, ad setup. I'm going to actually, in this instance, I'm going to, okay, they're telling me the link field is required, of course. So here's the website that I want to link it to, right? I want to run people to this website. So I'm going to copy the website link. Let's come back in here. Let's go ahead and add that website link in here. Here it is. That's the website I am going to link it to. If you notice, they're not giving me any text or anything else in here. So I'm now going to write some text. So in this instance, what I would do is I would go back. I've got some very specific text here, but I like this kind of text. I was just curious about Beaumont, California's home value, right? So this is specific text that I've done in a listing lead workshop that we do, but I like the text. So I'm going to utilize something similar here, and let's show you what this looks like. And I love this platform. This platform is called a WYSIWYG. So just to let you know what this is what you see is what you get. So as you add text in here, right? And let's say remember I'm running this in Temecula. So let's change this out and let's have this be Temecula, right? And if I wanted to do the same type of, I'd go find my averages and my information, right? I'm going to change this. I'm going to say, what's your Temecula home worth? Question mark. And you'll see on here, it'll actually pull in the what's your Temecula home worth. Now, I'm going to come in here. I want to add media. So I want to, let's see, do they give me an option of creating that? In this instance, I'm going to tell you guys something. On buyer ads, carousels, and video content works better. On a home value report, a single image works better. And I will make one more note on this. Single images work better if they're blue. So something else on this lead capture component. For these types of ads, if you can incorporate blue into your graphics, right? So a blue check mark, a blue learn more button. For some reason, a blue website page, if you notice, I've made this website page have blue buttons on it. That actually will have a 10% increase in the amount of people that will fill that out. Strange enough, but I love technology and marketing tidbits and hacks. So here we go. I've got my primary text. I've got my headline text. I don't need to add anything in here. It's going to a website. That's correct. There's the website name. There's what my ad looks like. Look at this. It says double check Zillow. That was just a domain name that I bought because I thought it was funny. So that's my demo website that I show people. And it's, that's my play against Zillow, whether you love them or hate them. So call to action button. I have a learn more button. I want to have that. You have some other options here. Contact us, get offer, get quote. That's fine. And actually, in this case, that's new. That might work great. Get a quote. Okay. So there's some real fun options on here. When you are ready to go, you can review this post and you can publish this post. And this post will go into the network. So if you are ready to go, you can literally click publish and that ad will start running as of the date that you set that ad. So it's in the process of creating it. There's my ad. It's a new ad, right? It's a new ad set. And we're off and running. So when I come back in here, they're going to be letting me know if I ever need to go back into your account manager again and you need to review your ads. That's right here in this database. So right here, you can go to your manage ads on your ad manager. And this is your ad account. You'll log in here. You'll click into there. And the reason I'm showing you this is that this is paramount. If you want to edit this ad and change the ad, you can do that because, right, they're going to go in and you're going to have a dollar amount. You're going to have whatever you run here. You're going to have that in. So there's Temecula Sellers, $5 daily. It's scheduled. It's supposed to start tomorrow. If I need to come in and I need to edit this, I can come in and edit this ad right here. And now I can go in and change the budget. So if you need to add more to the budget, if you need to reduce the budget, you can control what that looks like. So that's an easy place to go in and run this. Here's the other component of this that I love. If you go on vacation, you obviously don't want to run ads that you need to follow up with while you're on vacation. So the easiest thing to do is come in here and literally just pause that ad. When you get back from vacation, come back in and turn it back on again. So that's really the 5 different platforms on Facebook that you guys can be utilizing